Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, folks, Nico or Joe for the Citrus. Who's going to play? We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about Boo has enrolled early, and boy, the Colorado fans are going to have to hush, it looks like. So we got a lot going on. First thing we're going to talk about is Boo Carter. And this is a story by WDEF.com by Rick Nyman. It says Bradley Central's Boo Carter and Marcus Gorey Jr. enrolling early with Tennessee Vols. It says Boo Carter and Marcus are getting a jump start on their college football careers. They'll both be practicing with Tennessee this weekend as early enrollees. Even though the two defensive backs will go through the Vols practice sessions, they will not be able to play in the Citrus. And Carter said, we were in the same defense as Tennessee, so it's just different play calling, so we already know the defense. He said, we already got the connection with each other on the same side. They're friends and secondary teammates, so I think they're going to probably enjoy their time at Tennessee. Gorey said, I've been talking about this since the 8th and 9th grade, and it finally came true. Now, Tennessee's got 6 defensive backs in the transfer portal, so there's going to be playing time. So this gets Carter and Gorey very interested in getting here early. And Carter was talking about, he said, nobody's really got a starting job in the secondary, so that's going to give them a tremendous opportunity. And Gorey says it just gives us confidence and stuff. So being able to practice with the players that they'll be playing with in the future. So I think they see an opportunity. And I tell you what, I will not be shocked if Boo Carter plays a lot next year. I think he's a tremendous athlete. And he's going to be playing strong safety, which is all about knocking the crap out of people. And he's already been in this defense, so I think he's going to fit in quite well. And Gorey's a fine athlete himself, so they see an opportunity and they're excited. Now, unfortunately for the Colorado faithful, they're going to have to take it easy on trolling us. Now, before I get on them too hard, I have been known to troll occasionally.
What is the capital of Assyria?
I don't know that.
That's right. Every once in a while, I might troll Florida, South Carolina, you know, maybe a half a dozen teams. So I'm not going to give them too much grief, but I do have a message for them. You need to quit worrying about Boo Carter, and probably the best thing to do right now is just this.
Shut up!
That's right. It's over. You know, hey, look, you know, you got Jordan Seaton, although he's not signed yet, so I wouldn't get too squirrely. You never know what might could happen. I'm still surprised he picked Colorado, but hey, you know, he did. We might see him next year, though. That's the thing about the transfer portal. But they did get him, but you need to quit on the whole Boo Carter thing. It's not happening.
Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
That's right. Quit trying to make fetch happen. It's not happening. So anyway, now let's get into the big news as far as who's going to play Nico or Joe Milton. This is on A to Z Sports by Zach Reagan. It says Vols insider shares feelings on Joe Milton's status for the Citrus Bowl and also who they think is going to play. It says one of the biggest questions is who's going to start, whether it's going to be Joe Milton or Nico. It said opt-outs for bowl games are not unusual. They're pretty common, especially for quarterbacks. It says for now it's unclear what Milton's draft stock looks like. The draft combine and his pro day will go a long way in determining. That's true. But he's obviously preparing to play in the NFL, and I think he'll get picked up. But the Citrus Bowl being played in Orlando, which is where Milton played high school ball, he's got a lot of family there. He's made it clear that he loves to play in Florida, which is very important to him. And so I don't know if I don't think he's going to skip the game at Iowa. It says VolQuest Brent Hubbs, a longtime Tennessee insider, appeared on 104.5 on Friday morning and said he believes Milton will play in the Citrus Bowl. He says, Joe has done everything with his teammates, which gives me the belief he's going to play in the bowl game, said Hubbs. I don't have any reason to say that he's not. I know there's some debate, some talk about maybe he wouldn't. Said it certainly feels like he's going to, and I believe he's already starting to practice with the team in preparation. Said Hubbs thinks they do need to give true freshman quarterback plenty of reps and practice leading up to the Citrus Bowl. And he's hoping that obviously Nico will play in the Citrus Bowl. He said you have to disperse those reps. He said, I think a bit differently. You've got to get Nico as many reps as you can get him. I think you have to have him. You have to have a plan to get him on the field early in the game if Joe's playing. I agree with that totally. I would love to see Nico like in the third series, which would make a lot of sense. Look, he needs to get some live reps. He really needs to get some reps prior to the first game of next year. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And he hadn't gotten to play a ton. He has flashed when he's played. You can see he's very accurate and he's very nimble. and got a lot of touch, but we'd like to see him in a very competitive game. That would be fun to watch, and it'd be good for him as well. So look, some people are hearing this and saying, oh, well, Joe's going to play, and they're excited, and they're feeling like this.
The new phone book's here! The new phone book's here!
Whereas others want to see Nico, and they're probably feeling a little bit like this.
And then depression set in.
But here's the thing. Joe deserves to play, and look, I want to see Nico as much as anybody, okay? You've watched this show, you know. But there's something to be said for being loyal and staying with the team, and I think Joe loves the Vols. I think he wants to be on this team. He loves being the starting quarterback, and I think he'll probably play. If I had to guess, I've been at about 70% chance that I thought he would play, and now it's probably up to 80 or 90, and we'll see how it goes, but I would expect Joe to certainly start. But I do expect Nico to get some significant playing time. I certainly hope so. I think it's a mistake not to get him some serious reps in live action. So we'll see how it all plays out. But anyway, I did want to talk about that a little bit and talk about the scuttlebutt about it and around it. But that being Joe's hometown, probably a good chance he's going to play. Well, hello, folks. A special little addition. We got a defensive back that has committed Jacoby Thomas out of the transfer portal. And he initially had committed to Oregon State, but he's decided to come to Tennessee. And I wanted to add this because while I was watching the show I just did earlier, Coach Jay was in the live chat, and he said, hey, you need to check out this guy. He's really good, and he's excited about him. And the thing about Coach Jay, he's a lot like E.F. Hutton.
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Yeah, if he's high on this guy, you should be high on him too, because he knows what he's talking about. So let's take a look at this guy. This is on Go Vols 247 by Ryan Callahan. It says, after entering the transfer portal more than 2 weeks ago, Thomas, who initially committed to Oregon State and had offers from more than a dozen other programs, he was really very sought after, and he plays at Middle Tennessee State. He's a redshirt sophomore, so he's got a couple of years left. Plays safety. He's originally from Tullahoma. And he really shot up the boards. 6'1", almost 200 pounds. Definitely got the length that you're looking for. He said he feels very comfortable. He said it's home. He said came down to the nitty gritty. He said Tim Banks and Coach Hype really made me feel at home. He said that was big for me and seeing what they needed, and we really need help in the secondary. He received offers from Auburn, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, and Ole Miss. So he had a bunch of offers, including Washington State. So I think this is a really nice pickup, and this is the way it is with the transfer portal. It's really going fast, and I have to just throw stuff in where I can. So anyway, I did want to include that in this video. And at this time, I do want to thank today's sponsor, which is Eco Heating and Air. They have 3 locations, one in Lenore City, which is right next to Knoxville. They service that entire area. Jamestown, Tennessee, and Dunlap, Tennessee. Now, these folks are big-time Vols fans, and they had been watching this channel, and they reached out to me and wanted to see about sponsoring, and we discussed it and worked it out, and worked out really well. And it's really important that you take care of your HVAC, your heating and air, because if you don't, look, it's getting ready to turn cold, and you know how bad it gets in the summertime, because if your unit goes out, it'll be 85 in your house in about 10 minutes, and nobody wants to deal with that. Well, guess what? In the wintertime, it does the opposite. It's getting ready to be under 30 degrees every night, so you'd better have your HVAC ready, that's for sure. The last thing you want is your unit to go out, and then it's 10 or 15 degrees at night. So Eco, which is known for their really fast service, they have a maintenance special right now that includes 2 visits, a 21-point inspection, and a special UV cleaner that they'll add to your unit, the type they use in hospitals, and you'll get that for free as part of their maintenance agreement. So be sure to check out Eco Heating and Air. They have great ratings, whether you check out Google or Yelp or wherever, and they take really good care of their customers. I can tell you right now, several years ago, I didn't take care of my HVAC, had to replace the whole unit, and that was $8,000. And that was back then. What do you think it would cost now? So be sure you take care of your HVAC. Don't be like me and don't be like Aunt B.
Why didn't you call the man?
I should have called the man like you said.
That's right. Call the man. So if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's be able to continue to cover my Vols, of course, the SEC and all the big stories. If you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit this little button. I'd appreciate it. And right over here is the most recent video. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.